Zone theme song. Bart Scott here to do his signature segment. Can't wait. So, Bart, give us 3 things you can't wait for this season. Let's start with 2 former MVPs still looking for their first Super Bowl.
I'll tell you what, different year, same question. Can somebody unseat Thanos? Can Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson finally represent the AFC in the Super Bowl? That remains to be seen. They continue to get better. They stack MVPs, but they still run into that man, and they can't defeat him. So I'm wondering, can they unseat Thanos?
I like the Thanos reference. I also love the snow in July. All right, let's go to Philly. What do we got there?
Well, I want to see if Saquon Barkley can wash off that giant stench. You know, you talk about the start of his career.
He won a Super Bowl.
Yes, he won. Yes, he won a Super Bowl with the Philadelphia Eagles. I wonder if he can put together another season, because if he does, he's back on track for the Hall of Fame. I think that now people will remember him as an Eagle. I think if he continues to play and continue to add these stats up, I think he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer, like we believe and like Gettleman believes he was. A gold jacket just was in the wrong location.
Well, all right. Wrong location. How about a new location? Let's go out west, Bart Scott.
I tell you what, when you talk about, the Philadelphia Eagles and their run, their impressive run to the Super Bowl, their hardest competition was out west against the Rams. And now you have Devontae Adams out west, featured with Puka Nacua, who I believe is still a top 5 quarterback in Matthew Stafford. I wonder if this team can be the team that can be the greatest threat to the Philadelphia Eagles with Devontae Adams as an added veteran and a weapon for Matthew Stafford. I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, can't wait. Something Bart said to Jet fans years ago, still waiting. Meanwhile,
that word's heard, Alan.
You know I love you. Let's go to Steelers camp. Pittsburgh's new additions, Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf, were building some chemistry. The Steelers hope these additions will help Pittsburgh win a playoff game for the first time since the 2016 season. But look at these numbers here. Look at the win totals here.
Why Mike looks surprised?
Oh my God.
What? Who said something?
The front office also hoping these new additions can help Tomlin continue his streak of not having a losing season. Right now, as you see there, the streak's at 18 seasons, which is the 3rd longest by a head coach in NFL history, only behind the men you see there, Tom Landry, Bill Belichick. And while the streak may be important to the NFL community, Mike Tomlin, he has a different idea on this.
For me, there's so much to be concerned about relative to now. Let's be honest, okay? Like, most of these guys that I coach, it doesn't resonate with. Mm-hmm. You know, 19, 18 years ago, a lot of these guys were in car seats. And so they respect it, but it's not something that's of value for them. And so why would I, put my business on this collective? And really, at the end of the day, I doubt that anybody cares. It's just a nice, cool thing for you guys to talk about or use as an intro when you're talking about me, or hope for my demise. You know what I mean? Either way, it's sport entertainment. It's not big on my radar.
Not on his radar, but it certainly isn't everybody else's. And Mike T, what would a losing season mean for Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Alan, to me, this has the vibe of Andy Reid's last year in Philadelphia, where they had an amicable divorce, and obviously both sides have done great when they moved on from one another. Mike Tomlin is a first ballot Hall of Fame by any standard, by any metric. However, it feels like based on their moves this year, if they aren't successful, and to me it's going to be awfully hard to be successful, it could be time where both sides part ways and Mike Tomlin takes another team. There would be a line around the corner to try to hire him, and Pittsburgh restarts. And the reason why, fundamentally, guys, Aaron Rodgers is going to be 42 in December. In the history of pro football, which is a long time, Bart, there's been 2 quarterbacks that have started a game at 42 in the playoffs. One is Tom Brady, and we know what Tom Brady is. The other is Drew Brees. That's it. I'm not saying that Aaron Rodgers can't catch lightning in the bottle. He's an all-time great, 4-time MVP. But the data and the facts are overwhelmingly against that he'll be successful and lead his team to the playoff. And when you think about Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow in the same division, I just think that they're going to be on the outside looking in.
Will this pay off, this strategy, this is kind of all-in feeling, going with a guy like Aaron Rodgers?
The weird thing to me is it doesn't really feel that all-in. Like, to me, it feels like, oh, man, we need a quarterback. Well, there's Aaron Rodgers, let's grab him. It doesn't feel like if they, like last year with the Jets, or 2 years ago, when they went all-in for Aaron Rodgers. We're in a different space now with Rodgers, and I feel like he feels the same way. He's not talking about this like, I'm going to go out with a Super Bowl ring.
There's no lonely Lombardi talk,
he's
right?
talking about like, I just need to cleanse my palate from that awful experience in
And
New
eat some
York.
bark.
It feels like he just wants to rid himself.
Is this a marriage of convenience? Is that what you're suggesting?
Two divorcees?
They just needed each other at this time
And they both
of their
swipe
lives?
left, man. They both swipe left.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't want to degrade either of their legacies because they both are all deserving of everything they get. Nor do I think that this year impacts either of their legacy whatsoever, quite honestly. I don't think so. I think that that's a nice thing for both of them because then the expectations perhaps are lessened for them to succeed.
What is success for Rodgers and Tomlin this season in Pittsburgh?
Ceiling is winning a playoff game, maybe going against the Texans or something like that, and going out and play the winner of the AFC South and winning a playoff game. But I think this is a bigger indictment on Amir Khan. You know what I mean? Because this is what happens when you wait too late. We see the Giants still dealing with it. You know, when they waited too late to address the Eli Manning situation, they waited too long with the Ben Roethlisberger situation. Then they went with Kenny Pickett because he was around and they thought he was a good guy because they practiced at Pittsburgh and he's right next to him. This is more about Kenny Pickett and the miss there. And not too many general managers get an opportunity to pick 2 first-round quarterbacks and live to tell the story.
You know, Bart, it's interesting you say that. To me, the inflection point for them was they're sitting there, 21st pick, and Jackson Dart's on the board, Shedeur Sanders. When they took Derek Harmon, who's going to be a really, really good player, to me, they announced to the world, hey, it's Aaron Rodgers on a Band-Aid.
Correct.
And didn't try to get another quarterback to build on, long term.
Our 99 joining us now, Mike Tannenbaum on the program. Mike T, fantastic to see you. Before the big reveal later this morning, who would be in your 99 club?
Well, obviously, I would start with you and Randy, but we're not talking about broadcasters. We're talking about football players. I got 6, and I like
the
that.
graphic
That's
doesn't
pretty
lie,
good.
Mike T.
Unfortunately, I resemble that graphic. Anyway, I digress. Look, you got to put the big 3 quarterbacks up there, right? Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. We'd be thrilled with any of those 3. Saquon, to me, is an underrated receiver. That's why I put him there slightly over McCaffrey. And those 2 wide receivers, you could shake them up either way. Justin Jefferson has 1 more year of experience, but they're both dominant. I don't think anybody's going to quibble with these 6.
We're hearing some whispers that there might be a surprising omission in the 99 club, and then, of course, on the defensive end. You can't ignore T.J. Watt, maybe a Myles Garrett as the defenders who are ranking 99s. All right, back to the quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, an 85 rating last year in Madden. The concern this year, Mike T, is back soreness, won't return to practice next week as anticipated. How concerning is this?
You know, Gary, it's a concern for a couple reasons. First of all, he's 37.
Yep.
We're in July, and he's not practicing yet. And then I always think about, well, what does the protection look like? Alaric Jackson hopefully will be okay, but he's dealing with blood clot. Other side, Rob Haverstein, good player coming off of off-season surgery. So it's far from ideal. This team really ended well. Remember, they were 20 yards away from being the Eagles, Gary. But I don't like the fact that we're in July and we're not practicing yet. We have a long, long way to go on a 37-year-old frame.
Sure, and the Rams, they opened the season hosting the Texans, who, of course, are trying to make hay in that AFC themselves.